Good evening, all. Welcome to the fourth monthly webinar organized by ISTD Indore chapter, NHRD and Indore chapter, and Sri Vaishnav Vidyapeeth Vishwavidyalaya Indore on the topic Digital Transformation for Businesses by Resource Person, Mrs. Sunita Krishnani, Chief Marketing Officer, Systematics. I now invite Dr. Rupinder Dhar, former National President ISTD, and Honorable Vice Chancellor Sri Vaishnav Vidyapeeth Vishwavidyalaya Indore to propose the welcome address. Sir, please.
At the outset, I would like to welcome all of you to this special session. I am happy to welcome my student, Sunita. I taught Sunita 31 years back in the Institute of Management, IMS, DAVV. I think Manwani ji and Sunita were batchmates. Is it? Or Manwani ji was senior to you by 1 year?
No, we were batchmates.
You were batchmates. So we used to
And he was the eldest one, I was the youngest one.
Okay. Yeah. So it was way back. That time we used to be at R&T Mark. I must used to be at R&T Mark. So very happy to see her here, and I'm very pleased to welcome her to this ISTD platform, which is a very important platform so far as training and development is concerned. ISTD is not a platform exclusively for HR professionals. Unlike NHRD, NHRD is specifically for HR professionals, whereas ISTD is a platform, a professional body for the professionals in the area of training and development. That means cutting across all functional areas of management. So there can be people from marketing, there can be people from HR, there can be people from project management, there can be people from finance, any even technical disciplines also there. So all those who are interested in training and development. We have started this lecture series by the well-known professionals, those who have invested number of years in the profession and contributed significantly. We have been approaching them for sharing their experiences, sharing their views with the members of ISTD. This Indian Society for Training and Development is now more than 50 years old. It was way back in 1970, 10th April 1970, when this body was established in New Delhi, and the office was started in, first office was in the Planning Commission office, Government of India. And from there the journey started, and now today this body has more than 40 chapters all over the country. It has been offering one diploma program in training and development, which is the only diploma program recognized by Government of India. And many, I would say thousands of people have been benefited by doing this diploma in training and development, benefited by way of their advancement in the career, benefited in way of even getting a break and so on. That is very well known, so I need not to say that. But it was started in 1970s itself. Then another initiative that was taken in 1970s, immediately after it was established, was starting a journal, Indian Journal of Training and Development. That is also widely recognized, not only in India, even abroad. Third important initiative that was taken in the 1970s itself was to organize a annual national convention, which is held by rotation across the country. Similarly, then there have been one of the major activities has been designing and organizing training programs for the executives across the country. So I think with these words, even ISTD has a publication division which publishes books which are specialized in niche areas, which also publishes monographs and then circulates amongst its members. So, like that, there are a number of activities which have been happening. In fact, anyone who has been a successful consultant in the country has been associated with ISTD at one or the other point in one's career. So, not taking much time, I would once again like to invite, and in fact, she is already invited. Welcome to Sunita to this platform, and I hope that she will maintain the contact with all the members of ISTD in future. It's a good intellectual platform wherein we have exchange of ideas, exchange of experiences, and we learn from each other. So thank you very much, and I'm sure that we will learn many things from her, and by the end of the session, all of us will be richer in our understanding about this digital transformation, how digital transformation is going to be very important. And in fact, COVID has given it a push, and digital world has become a world in itself. So that's why this topic that chosen by Sunita is very important and relevant for all of us. So with these words, happy learning to all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your inspiring words. I now have the privilege to introduce our resource person for today, Mrs. Sunita Kishnani. Mrs. Krishnani has over 25 years of diversified business experience in B2B internet retail in healthcare space, B2C food tech, and software product and services marketing. She is currently Chief Marketing Officer with Systematics Infotech at a CMMI Level 3 appraised and Great Place to Work certified company. Systematics Infotech is a global digital transformation company with 4 development centers in India and overseas offices in USA and Singapore. Prior to this, she has worked as Vice President for Product, Digital Initiatives and Supply Chain at Medica Bazaar, India's leading B2B startup in medical supplies based out of Mumbai. She was also founding member and chief operating officer of the Indore-based startup EasyMedico.com and omni-channel pharmacy. She holds an MBA degree in marketing from IMS DAVV Indore and executive education in B2B marketing from IIM Ahmedabad. She's currently pursuing PhD in management. Her publication includes a chapter anticipating and avoiding pitfalls that can sink a startup in the textbook titled Big Data and Entrepreneurship by leading US publication Taylor and Francis Group. She is also on the board of Judge Engineering Limited as an independent woman director. She also consults a couple of startups that are currently in ideation stage and is a regular speaker in marketing, health tech, startup conferences, and educational institutes. I now invite Mrs. Kishnani to please address the audience.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for the warm words and warm welcome. Many people here know me very well because I am from Indore, and in fact, as Darsar said, that I am from IMS. So it's pleasure to be again in the same, learning group. With that, I'll not take much of the time because we have already started little late. This subject, which is also very close to me, we have been talking about this with our clients and everybody, but generally I felt that, awareness about this subject is pretty low if we talk to someone. So that's why I've chosen this so that all can come to the platform, which is what is, happening today around us. So with that, let me just share my screen. Any questions or anything, we will take it towards the end of the presentation. I'll be happy to answer all queries. Yeah, please let me know if you're able to see the screen. Are you able to see the screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So today's topic is digital transformation for businesses, and I'll take you through, like, what's happening around in this space in the various industries, as well as there are certain things into why people are hesitant, or what are the common digital transformation technologies, and how people are going about it in the industry. So it's a journey starting from certain samples, case studies, towards the end, talking about the subject and how you can take it forward in your businesses. So before I take you into the presentation, I have arranged a small, video. We see a lot of things around us happening, especially in the personal consumption space, I would say. Be it, smart devices that we wear, or, ordering to an Alexa via Alexa, or doing anything. Technology is all around us. So let's just see example of this first, and we'll talk more about it.
न्यूयॉर्क सिटी में हम मौजूद हैं। मेरे बहुत से दोस्त फाद फारूक who's also a vlogger। ये मुझे बड़ी इंटरेस्टिंग जगह लेकर आए, Amazon Go। आपको याद होगा मैंने एक वीडियो बनाई थी कि Amazon का एक स्टोर है जहाँ पे कोई कैश काउंटर नहीं होता। यू गो, आपने सामान उठाया और आप निकल गए, आपके वॉलेट में, ई वॉलेट में से पैसे माइनस हो जाते हैं। सो अभी आपको हम पूरा उसका दिखाते हैं डिस्प्ले। तो ये स्कैन करेंगे कार्ड, ठीक है। ये मैं एज अ गेस्ट आ गया, अब फाद ने दोबारा किया, तो सिस्टम को पता चल गया कि फाद के साथ एक बंदा है। अब ये ऊपर मोशन डिटेक्टर लगे हुए, ये फाद को नोटिस कर रहे हैं, फाद कहाँ कहाँ जा रहा है। पहले कैमरे होते थे, लोगों के प्राइवेसी कंसर्न थे कि हमें वी डोंट वांट कैमरास टू लुक एट अस। अब ये हर मोशन डिटेक्टर अगले वाले को सिग्नल भेजता जा रहा है, जैसे जैसे वो आगे जा रहा है वो उसको बताता जा रहा है यहाँ जा रहा है। अब ये गेटोरेड की बोतल उठाई, ये पीली, अब फहाद के फोन में जो है वो ऐड हो गई है, ये आपके बिल में ऐड हो गई है। अब सीधा बाहर जा सकते हैं, ठीक है ना।
अब जैसे कि मैंने M&M उठाई है, ये जैसे मेरे वर्चुअल कार्ड में ऐड हो गई है M&M।
सही है, तुम्हारे उसमें सिस्टम में
ये मेरे सिस्टम में आ गई है। ये जैसे मैं बाहर निकलूंगा चार्ज हो जाएगी, लेकिन मैं कहता हूँ नहीं यार मैंने नहीं लेनी है, बस ये बोतल यार काफी है बोतल, ये मैंने वापस रखी है,
वो लिस्ट में से माइनस
हो गई है।
राइट,
पूरी चार्ज करेंगे,
जो सामान लेके निकलोगे ऑटोमेटिकली तुम्हारा कार्ड कनेक्ट है।
और कोई भी ऐसे ग्लिचेस बहुत कम है, कोई भी ऐसा मसला हो या ज्यादा चार्ज हो, विद इन स्वाइप they will refund you money everything,
no questions। हालांकि लोग बोल सकते हैं कि जी
उनको कॉस्ट इतना कम आता है रिफंड करने का कि वो विदाउट एनी क्वेश्चन आपको पैसे रिफंड कर।
नाइस। तो जैसा कि आप देख रहे हैं, इधर से हम अंदर आए, कोई कैश काउंटर नहीं है, ये सामान उठाया और हम ऐसे ही निकल के जा सकते हैं। ये है फ्यूचर का स्टोर, और कोई लाइनें नहीं, कोई इम्तियाज स्टोर, नाइट स्टोर वाले चक्कर नहीं है भाई। सामान उठाए कोई, हाँ अब मांगेंगे किससे उधार। चलो यार मैं भी कुछ पीऊं ठंडा ठंडा, और अभी आपको दिखाते हैं हम कैसे निकलते हैं। क्या पीऊं यार, गेटोरेड बहुत बढ़िया।
गेटोरेड पी सकते हैं, स्टारबक्स कॉफी ले
सकते हैं। ना कॉफी नहीं,
रेड बुल पी सकते हैं।
नहीं रेड बुल नहीं,
नेकेड जूस पी सकते हैं।
हाँ ये
ब्लू मशीन्स, फ्रूट सब्जी सब बराबर, अनार का जूस,
ये लेमन उठा ले,
ये लेमन। अब ये मेरी वर्चुअल आप भी उठाएंगे तो आपके मेरे कार्ड में जाएगा।
अच्छा, अब ये अगर मैंने उठा लिया तो चूंकि सिस्टम में ये है कि मैं फाद के साथ आया हूँ,
आप मेरे दोस्त हैं, तो
तुम्हारे कार्ड में ये जूस आ गया।
एग्जैक्टली।
चलिए ठीक है, अब हम ये जूस लेके देखें आपके सामने, ये बगैर कट, कोई एडिटिंग नहीं हुई है, ठीक है। आपके सामने जूस उठाए, बल्कि काम करते हैं, आप बोले यार ये काट लिया, कुछ और उठाए, बल्कि नहीं सोचते,
नहीं कुछ उठा
M&M उठा लेते, ठीक है। आपके सामने देखें, कोई कट नहीं लगा रहा मैं, कोई एडिटिंग नहीं, ये M&M उठाई, ठीक है। ये मैंने आपके सामने जूस उठाया था, हमने कोई पेमेंट नहीं दी है, और अब यहाँ से हम एग्जिट कर रहे हैं, और थैंक यू फॉर शॉपिंग, नो क्वेश्चंस, देगा आपके सामने स्टोर ऑफ द फ्यूचर। अबे भाई किसी से कुछ बोलना ही नहीं पड़ा,
कुछ भी जरूरत नहीं है। यूजुअली ये टाइम अभी बहुत लग रहा है क्योंकि हम रिकॉर्ड कर रहे हैं।
हाँ।
विद इन 30 सेकंड आपको पता है आपने क्या लेना है?
हाँ, पानी
लेते हैं और बाहर निकलते हैं।
ये भाई, तो भाई ये है स्टोर ऑफ द फ्यूचर, ये है फ्यूचर टेक्नोलॉजी। यहाँ बैठ के अब हम आराम से, अरे पुराना वर्ल्ड ट्रेड सेंटर तो खैर नहीं है, अब ये वर्ल्ड ट्रेड सेंटर का मॉल है, और अब यहाँ आराम से बैठ के दूसरे के। थैंक यू फॉर।
So this is what Apple, Amazon, and Tesla. These are the companies that are sort of revolutionizing everything around us. But that's happening around us. But are we able to absorb that transformation into our business is a question that I'm addressing today, and how we can bring it. So let us first understand what is digital transformation. So it is by now, I think it should be clear to you that with the technology, even businesses needs to adapt. Otherwise, you will fade or you will die. Classic example is classified ads, which has first taken on the internet, or maybe matrimony or make my trip. So there are so many examples that we see around us are they are the, I would call them digital twins, because they are the exact replica of the model that happens in the physical space, and that's being duplicated over digital platform. So one needs to understand that the changes are happening very fast, and we need to adopt those changes in the businesses. Otherwise, we might not survive. Now, when I talk about digital transformation, it is a process of adopting digital technologies to transform your existing business model. So it completely changes the way you operate, or the way you handle your customers, or the way you are managing your business. So at this moment, I would like to also share that don't consider it to be digital automation, because many times people think that these are similar things, digital automation and digital transformation, but they are different. Digital automation is something that you are actually, your existing process you are taking as is, and you are translating it into a digital format to do it digitally on a technology. But transformation means is scratching it from the base and understanding what sort of improvements can be brought in with the technology. So that's the difference between digital automation and digital transformation. And obviously it is an evolving space. So today you see something else, like we were just seeing simple sports trackers, fitness trackers, but now they are so advanced. Even ECG you can do with those trackers. So these are the sort of things that keep happening, because as technology is evolving, so is are these gadgets, as well as further processes and models. Now I will take you through couple of case studies, and along with the case studies, I'll also share with you sort of technologies that have been used to uh, uh, make them digitally ready. Now this case study is about a government institution, and this is about their amendment process that they need to do. Their taxpayers actually they have to come online and they have to submit amendments required in their details. Now they used to receive about 100 plus amendment requests in the form that had about 250 or 300 fields. It is for the government, so obviously you can understand that the field requirement or the form requirement is huge. Now typical time that is taken to review per process manually by person was about 1 to 2 hours. Now, because every day 100 applications are coming up, the problem was that these applications were pending for verification. And as a result, the government was not, obviously it was not an Indian government department, but some different, Middle East, I would say. So they were not able to meet the TET, which was committed. Now, using RPA, which is robotic process automation, the complete process was transformed. The job that was to be done for was happening in 2 hours was brought down to 2 minutes. The reduction in operational cost was 95%. Obviously, the department was able to meet 100% tag, and they were able to finish the backlog of over 2,500 requests, which were lying for the amendment in the taxpayer profile, in just 15 days. Now, how does it happen? Let's first see how does it happen, and then I'll talk about what is robotic process automation. Uh, these are the bots. Now, what does a bot do? Bot actually, mimics every action that a human does on a computer. Now, let's say if I'm opening a file, if I write a bot and I say open a file, it is going to go into the folder and open that particular file, just to give you a simple example. So this bot was completely designed to do the way a human would work on a computer system. Now the amendment application is received via web portal. Bot reads the data, pick up amendments, and performs intelligent process of verification. Now there are certain things related to RPA, which I'll not get into detail, but just for our understanding, RPA is a simple, RPA, which is robotic process automation, and second one is IPA, which is intelligent process automation. Now, when I say intelligent process automation, automatically, there's certain intelligence being, fed into the computer program to let him decide whether to go forward or, approve, reject, or do anything based on certain logic. So this bot was an intelligent bot. That is why it was able to do first, pick up the details, write the detail in an Excel sheet for creating a summary, and basis those verification logic, it used to approve, reject, or ask for more information. In fact, this was the typical pain point. Like, if certain fields are not filled properly by the user, then the human person has to connect with them, call back, and or whatever, write an email that you are supposed to do this. But this was taken over by bot completely. Now, at the end of the day, now bot also creates a summary, like on how many wet forms are being approved, rejected, and submitted for more information. Bot ends the process with mailing the report to the relevant stakeholders. So you can see a 2 hour job has been brought down to just 2 minutes by a bot. So we take second case study. This case study is from logistics and supply chain space. They collect the tax to be paid by the sender while importing the goods in the country. Now there was 11 people which were deployed on this particular process, and they were handling 2,000 consignments per day. Now, obviously, because there were 2,000 consignments checking whether the tax paid is correct or not, or whether the process was like, if the sender has not paid the tax for import, then this logistics company has to pay that tax to the government and then later collect it from the sender. So this is how there was revenue loss, obviously, because such kind of voluminous data handling was not it was not error free, I would say. So again, the process was digitally transformed using bots. 98% reduction in time, 100% accuracy was achieved. There was zero human intervention. And now the information is in the digital form, so it is available for decision making. So how does it work? Now, 10 minutes to perform a 240 minutes human process. So completely, complete transformation. So register all import consignments on the government website. So whatever import consignments come up, they have to register that on the government's website. Then check how much tax, how much tax is payable against the import consignment. Verify whether the tax is already being paid or not by the consigner. Check if already paid, then whether the right tax, as per computation, is being paid or not. If not, then pay the tax to the government on behalf of the consignee. This is later collected at the time of delivery. And then at the end of the day, do reconciliation, variance between the tax payable and actual tax paid by the consigner, and variance between the tax paid on behalf of the consignee to the government and later collected from the consignee. So this is how the process was completely transferred. Even, in fact, bot can even open up a form, it can fill the details, it can do online payments, it can do everything what a human does on a computer, basically. So this is one of the technology which is very much used these days in digital transformation process. So another example before we move is, I was talking to one of the largest public this Xerox company. So they were actually have a lot of systems. Over a period, company develops certain silos. They have many systems. Now they have to extract reports from each of these systems. They have to compile it and then present it to the management. Now these things do not require human anymore. So the bot was developed and it works to deliver those smart reports. Now I would touch upon the IoT, which is Internet of Things. In this case study, the Internet of IoT devices were used for managing the floodlights that are placed in the stadiums. Not just one stadium, but multiple stadiums across the city. So this is a sports construction equipment company, and sitting centrally, they can manage all the floodlights in the stadiums, and they can switch on, switch off, and obviously they can be timed. They are timed also. They are programmed also. So this is the case study from IoT. Now, this is the real world case study from healthcare space. Now, till now, RFID was primarily used for location tracking, but now with beacon technologies and a lot of new ways of tracking, real-time location tracking is possible. So this is a real-time location tracking system, which is now getting very popular in the US, and because what happens is typically we have GPS for moving around wherever we are going, but the moment we get into a large campus or inside a campus, we get lost. We don't know where to go, or huge hotels or large healthcare campuses. So this is a very good technology for location tracking, wayfinding, and asset management in healthcare industry. Asset management, in fact, is very important for the reason that they need to know exact device of the location where it is lying, because they cannot have multiple at every location. So this is primarily used for better patient experience as well as for asset management and location finding. Now, I'll not get into details of these technologies. These are also used for digital transformation, but I'll just touch upon them, like how they are being used. So telematics in vehicle. Now, telematics is a device which is a combination of wireless network as well as in electronics in a vehicle, as well as a complete management at the back end. Now, what does it do is, if you fit this in the vehicle, like Aisha is already doing that in their vehicles, in their commercial vehicles, they put this device. So this device picks up all the data which is happening with the vehicle, its location, also what is happening if its engine is failing, or what is happening on road with those vehicles. Now this data, imagine it is coming to the back at the central location. Now, this is a big data. Now, if the companies start utilizing this data, they can do very well analytics on where they need to bring improvement in the design. If they consistently see that, where the failures are happening or what's happening in the vehicle. So this is again, this, and all these technologies they're being adapted now. Now, this technology was introduced somewhere around 76, but now it has come back with, smart devices being popular, phones being popular. So this has, come back again. Now drones, we are all aware that drones are being used for delivery, and we all use smart IoT devices, starting from simple, things to even a smart helmet in a factory, I would say. So the helmet even recognizes the sort of material grade which is, there in the production floor. AI ML is again used for predictive analytics. AI ML has multiple uses. So practically wherever you have a large data where you can draw patterns, it helps you to determine that what can happen next. And in fact, all industries, including healthcare also, like, probable, diseases that might happen to a person, to, inventory that that organization should carry at a location, to even pharmaceutical manufacturer to take a decision that in this batch combination of certain components, how much I have to withdraw to make the right composition for the medicine. So these are certain examples that I have seen personally in AI ML, and it's a very, very powerful technology which businesses are now adopting. But again, adoption in businesses is pretty slow, I would say. BI has been there since long, and this technology helps you process a lot of data and present it in a format which is one single dashboard format, which gives you KPIs on one screen. So this has been also very popular. So your data might be lying into several systems. It could be SAP or it could be anything, but this technology picks up data and presents it in a usable information and the sort of KPIs on the dashboard. Again, the most popular that we must have seen in our daily life now is a chatbot solution. Now, chatbot is, you must have seen, like if you're shopping online, you generally don't get to see the real life person for, customer service. You just need to send a query and, automatically a bot from there would respond to you. And then you have to bypass. If you have to speak to a human, then you have to bypass and say that, connect me to the human. Or maybe, many of them, like 1mg has even withdrawn that also. You have to write to them if you are wanting to talk to someone. So chatbot is again, very popular, which is sort of transforming this customer service space. Now, starting from the simple chatbot, like, you can chat or you FAQs, to, a digital assistant sort of platforms, like where you can submit a form, it can, interact with you the way human would interact, and then, it would do the decision making and everything. So those are the variety of chatbots that we see in online space, I would say, right now. And the same chatbots can be used for prospects also, for employees also, for management also, for channel sales also. So everywhere, wherever you feel that, there's a lot of load on the phone calls, a lot of load on the back office, those are the processes that can be, typically transformed and, that can be written into chatbots. I would not get into the slide too detailed. So these are the frequently used digital transformation technologies. Mostly everything is now on mobile phones and apps. We are putting up everything on the cloud. Like, we are not having anything in on-premise sort of. Mostly the applications are on cloud. Internet of Things for many things nowadays, like even switching on the personal device also, like ACs, they come with IoTs, or even your entire consumption has changed. Like, TV also, you have, internet. We never imagined that, we'll be not seeing the Lord Tata Sky, but we will be seeing, everything via Netflix on TV. So RPA is again very powerful technology, as I shared a lot of examples of RPA. And chatbots, artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, NLP, these are very popular for predictive analytics and BI. Digital twin, as I shared earlier, these are the digital representation of real world entities. So anything that we have in the physical space, that if we are translating and coming it onto the digital platform, is basically digital twin. So the example is online pharmacy. Like, I have been the founding member of a online pharmacy. That time, nobody imagined that the pharmacy can be, online also. And typically, a use case was seen that those who are on the long-term medication would definitely find it helpful. And I'll talk about myself only. Like, today, entire medicine I order on 1mg, or easymedico.com, or maybe, pharmacy. So these are certain examples which were not there a few years back, but we see them now. Best Juice is again a example of digital twin. We see Bansal classes and everything, but never imagined that Beju's will make it so big and become a unicorn for India. So these are the certain technologies that we use for digital transformation. That's it from my side, and I'll I'll open it up for the question and answers now. I want to make it more interactive.
The participants are requested to either unmute and ask questions, or they can write in chat box. In the meantime,
Chat would be better. Chat
I have
would
a
be
question, ma'am. I have a
You
question.
can ask question directly.
Okay. Fine. Go
I
ahead.
ask a question. Yeah. Myself, Dr. Mehta from Ujjain.
Good
First
evening.
of all, thank you very much for very elaborative and very interesting presentation. I think, ma'am, can you throw light about the how HR intervention is more required, especially while dealing with the robotics or machines?
Hmm.
How we have to tackle this kind of intervention?
So typically, robotic process is useful where you have similar sort of process which is being done regularly. So if you have defined steps, similar steps, and voluminous job, those are the processes which can be taken on RPA.
Can you
So
throw
we
more
need to
light?
basically figure out, like, which is the area which we have to, which can be done brought onto RPA.
No, I think I wanted to just listen your ideas about the productivity. How don't you think that the productivity issues can also be uh, tackled in a much better way?
Yes. So there are multiple uses, like starting from simple, onboarding of an employee that can be completely done by a bot to, understanding, assessing the productivity. Everything is possible with that.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, thank you.
There's a question from Dr. Vinod Kumar Mishra. How will it increase human involvement in technology and create employment?
No, can you repeat it?
Okay, I think it's a part of. Vinod sir, would you like to unmute and ask your question, please?
Yeah, yes. Ma'am, how far this technology or robotics will help out human involvement and create employment, which is a major problem nowadays?
Uh, so typically, since we do a lot of, RPA work, we have been facing similar question, and we did a lot of studies around it. It's a change management. Now, typically, a human wants to work on a creative thing and productive things. They also don't want to do repetitive things. So even if you introduce, you can, use the same resource for a much better job, I would say, or much. I mean, they will also feel satisfied with it. Does it answer your question?
Uh, it is partly answered, as I am worried about the future that generation, it means population is been increasing, and if facilities are being so increased that in mall and in shopping centers, human will be removed off. So it will create a havoc for employment of people.
It will not replace, I would say, because yeah, obviously in our industry we face that that crunch now, and that today's generation is digital native, so they will grow with the technology. So routine jobs would be performed, but wherever there is intelligence, there is a strategy level involvement. Obviously, there would be
Yes,
human required.
yes. Right. Right. Thank you.
I request Dr. Upinder Dhar to please give some closing remarks, sir.
I think there will be some more questions.
Okay, sir.
Yes.
I have a question. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, Raj, we
Puche,
can hear
puche.
you.
Yep. Hi, Sunita ma'am. It's Raj. Good to chat with you after a long time.
Yes.
So
Nice
of
to
course
see you.
Yep. So the session was very insightful. Thank you. Coming to my question, so digital transformation is great. Definitely, we all agree. Being into IT, so we all acknowledge that yes, it is great and it's helping our customers a long way. But it largely depends on the customer adoption and education, right? So
Exactly.
especially about India, do you think Indian customer is ready for accepting such transformation in which is happening around the world? And how can the companies together take this transformation in such a way that we help the customers also adopt it?
Yeah. So I would say that in India, enterprises are very much welcoming this, and of course, adoption is the biggest challenge. We know it in the IT space. be it small process automation to transformation. We face that challenge, so that we need to tackle within the corporate. But yes, enterprises in India, like I shared, Volvo Eicher, they are using in their trucks this telematics. So technology is like in Vinda industry is going for a complete cost automation, so and transformation across their 38 plants. So yeah, they are welcoming.
Okay, thank you.
Any more
Yeah. Any
questions?
other question? No questions. So, you see, topic is so interesting and very timely because this is a very contemporary area where we are seeing and experiencing the transformation taking place. So, I think there could be series of such sessions on the same because they're very upcoming area,
Yeah.
and more of us need to know more about what is happening so far as digital transformation is concerned, and how future of work, future of market, even future of education is going to be. We talk about digitization, we talk about digitalization, we talk about transformation. Ultimately, it is the transformation that takes place. So I would like to congratulate and thank also Sunita. We used to address Sunita as Sunita Torani 30
Yeah.
years back. Now
Right.
Sunita Kishnani. A good session and very informative. I'm sure that everybody has enjoyed the session, and there were a lot of learnings because I get impressed by cases, because cases give you a actual idea what is happening.
Yeah. Right.
Cases are based on reality. Cases are not based on any fiction. So that's why any case study makes any subject very realistic, and that's what Sunita has done. Good, well done, Sunita, and we'll keep you involved. In fact, you can keep on attending our sessions because these are all open sessions and for understanding only and learning from each other. So
Sure.
good
Sure.
that we had your session today. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, and I'll be happy to contribute more.
Yes, yes, you have already started your contribution, so keep on contributing.
Yeah, sure.
Well done. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for the closing remarks. I request the participants for certificates, they can fill the feedback form. I've shared it in the chat box. I now have the privilege to propose words of thanks. First and foremost, I'm profusely grateful to Mrs. Sunita Kishnani, our learned resource person. Thank you, ma'am, for throwing light on a highly relevant topic and for sharing your valuable knowledge and experience with us. The insights that you've shared today are well received by all. I would like to thank our respected inspirational Dr. Rupinder Dhar, former National President ISTD and Honorable Vice Chancellor Sri Vaishnav Vidyapeeth Vishwavidyalaya Indore, who always motivates us to become good, better and best. I extend my gratitude to you, sir, for not only spending your time with us today, but also for being a pillar of strength in all our endeavors. A warm thanks goes to our respected and honored Dr. Mrs. Santosh Dhar, National Committee Member, ISTD, and Dean, Faculty of Doctoral Studies and Research, Sri Vaishnav Vidyapeeth Vishwavidyalaya, Indore. Respected ma'am, for your vision and commitment to work and its execution, the high benchmark you've set for us and your contribution help us excel in all such activities. Thank you, ma'am. I extend my deep gratitude to Dr. George Thomas in absentia. He is chairperson ISTD Indore chapter and director, Sri Vaishnav Institute of Management, for his patient guidance and constant motivation for ensuring to bring out our best efforts. My heartfelt thanks to Dr. Rajiv Shukla, Vice Chairperson in absentia, ISTD Indore Chapter and Director, Sri Vaishnav School of Management, SVV Indore. I thank Dr. D.T. Manwani, MDP Convener and Director, Quantile Analytics Private Limited, for sharing the contact, our resource person for today. Uh, for being a constant guide, he's always very helpful. I take this opportunity to thank our very senior members, Dr. C.S. Kajju, Sri G.M.P. Rao, Dr. Rishi Dubey, Dr. N.K. Totla, Dr. Namit Gupta, Dr. Nishit Dubey, Dr. T.K. Mandal, who constantly encourage us, motivate us in all our endeavors. And behind every successful program lie the manifold attempts of our committed team members. So I'll take a moment to acknowledge the immense contribution of our dedicated team, Dr. Sandeep Malu, Dr. Rishu Roy, Dr. Deepa Joshi, Mr. Premansh Sharma, Mr. Shantam Sharma, Dr. Dhanshri Nagar, Dr. Pragya Sharma, Dr. Rakesh Kumar Malvya, and our recent member, Mr. Shivam Dubey. They persevere and indulge themselves for making each ISTD Indore chapter session wonderful by their efforts. And last but not the least, I thank all the participants for their active participation and the learning they took away today. Thank you, sir. Uh,
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, everyone.
Thank you.
I
Yeah,
also
what-
request the participants they can leave the session. So we will have a monthly meeting following this webinar. So the members can please stay back.
Thank you once again. I'll sign off.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.